What's up, guys?
Hi,
Hi.
Kelsey. It's been like 7 days, and I feel like it's been yesterday.
A lot's happened. A lot's maybe happened in your first week here. I love the microphone setup. Valentina, what is going on? That's the coolest thing I've seen in this whole pandemic. Yeah.
I mean, my sound quality my laptop sound quality is quite bad. So yeah.
Had to get this set up. Yeah, you're like a recording artist. Love it. Woo, guys. All right. I mean, we'll kind of wait for people to filter in. This is like open space. Anybody want to share? How was your first week as a Sofer? What was like something shocking about this situation so far? What was good? What have you uncovered?
Hi, Kelsey. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Can I share?
Yeah, please.
So definitely the phone calls let me turn my camera on. Please excuse the noise. There's a huge ceremony happening outside that I had to escape from to attend the class. Definitely the one-on-one calls that I had this week, meeting Luam and I think it was Nada, and just getting to know them better, getting to know about them, getting to learn about the different people in the cohort and just their experiences. It was very fascinating to learn about them and the things they're interested in, who they are as people.
Good. And more like that can obviously come. You can anytime you're like, oh, I'm intrigued with you. You can have a one-on-one call with them. Those are like the best. Very good. So thank you, Banati, for sharing that. Who else would like to go forth?
So definitely it was a really fun experience getting to know some of the people. And I also got to know another person from another cohort, like we texted a little bit. That was also fun. So yeah. And it was also like fascinating to see what some people come up with. Like I like to thank Benefi and I give her credit for coming up with our group name. And it was honestly just a word I've never heard before. So it was very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. How did you meet someone from another cohort? I'm really glad about that too.
Well, actually, they texted me through Discord first. I have no clue how they found me, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's get to the team names really quick before anything else. Let's let each team introduce who they are and like how this name came to be. I see some like very guilty smiles or something like that. Who would like to go first?
May I?
Yeah.
Our group is Teletubbies.
Excellent.
We are Teletubbies. It's kind of all started since the kickoff. And the second you said you will eventually come up with a name for your teams last Saturday, the first thing that came to my mind is, sis, what if we for real named our team Teletubbies? Because like before Pavan left, we were like 5, and I was like, so why not? Because Tinky Winky, Tipsy Lala, and Joe and the Sun are all 5, so why not? And then after Pavan left, it could have still worked because we're still 4. So Tinky Winky, Tipsy Lala, and Po, they're goofy, they're fun, they like to play, we don't like being serious. Our language of communicating with each other is fun, and we don't like being serious. Before we even got the task of getting to know each other, we've already made like so many calls together. I could officially call Valentina and Naima, one of my closest friends right now. Things happen so fast. And yeah, the reason why we call it Teletubbies is because half of the time, 90% of the time, we're never serious about anything, and it's all fun. We like that.
Yeah. I wanted to add something as well. So we came up with that name just like randomly because we were speaking and we were like, we have to come up with a name. What do you guys think of? And then Yara said, oh, the Teletubbies. And now that I think about it, when you're, creating your own business, you're kind of thinking of crazy ideas and just, going with them, just doing it. So you don't have to always be traditional and pick whatever your mind comes up with. That's kind of socially accepted, I guess. So it was really fun because we were able to pick a name that's actually funny and that people are going to remember, because I don't think anybody can like forget a funny name, if you get what I'm trying to say.
And if you guys are in a good flow of like enjoying yourselves, that's when like just spitballing stuff comes out of you like that. It's funny that Teletubbies were a thing when I was like growing up too. Like they were like we it was like it was like definitely a kids show, but we like thought it was hilarious. We all like I was Poe, all that stuff that happened like 15 years ago, 20 years ago almost. Gosh. Okay. Moving to the next team. Who's ready?
Team 2 or team 3?
Whoever is like feeling like they're ready to speak up, we're ready for you.
Yeah, why not? Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, so our team's name is Intrepids. It's Intrepid and then add an apostrophe S. I've never heard of this word until Benefi introduced us to it, and I searched up the meaning and the origins, and I think it's a very awesome word for someone who takes risks, for someone who's bold, courageous, for someone who just likes to be out there and, you know, have it all. So actually, some of the synonyms of this word can be courageous, dauntless, violent. No, not violent, like violent. Like I don't know. Anyways, it comes from the Latin word intrepidus. So the word intrepidus, in comes from the word not, and trepidus comes from alarmed. So, or fearful, which means not fearful, or not alarmed, which means someone who's calm, someone who's courageous, someone who's brave, someone who's just putting it all out there and ready to take risks. So as someone who's very traditional, it's definitely interesting to take risks and just be out there. So I really love that name. It applied to a lot of stuff. But if anything or anyone else would like to share something, I don't mind.
That was a really lovely description though. Thank you so much for taking us into like a tour of a history and all that. If Ash or Banati, Portia, you guys want to add to like anything about the team name construction or team precious team moments? You definitely don't have to ever, but I always leave it open for like a little bit of time. Okay. And lastly, we will do our team with team 1. So Rim, Jerica, Selma.
I can go.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have chosen Junior Business Mafia, short form GBM, because we was thinking about something strong and something that is not, how can I say it? It's not, we was thinking about something strong, and we have thinking about it, and we also was thinking about something creative, and also what we stand for, and we then we have chosen Junior Business Mafia. We also want to be something in our future life. We want to do something in our future life with business. So this is why.
Brilliant. Okay, brilliant. I just want to make sure everybody who can be here is possibly here before we begin. And teams, you'll all like kind of know each other. Like make sure your teammates are here today. You'll need all hands on deck. As I said, the more people you have, the more you have a possibility of winning. I'm not gonna lie. All right, but today's a lot about, and everything in these 100 days is a lot about asking really, really good questions. Honestly, like if you are able to, in any situation, take in information, but then poke and find more information. Figure out what you don't know. Ask something that sparks a really, really like detailed answer from somebody that you couldn't have thought of on your own, right? We're all very smart here. You all are you got into this academy because you had your first call and you were like able to like splatter out beautiful thoughts and passion, right? And those things, they are awesome. But to get more out of this world, ask good questions and listen. You will have the best time if you ask really good questions and can always get more information from any situation. So with that being said, can I get everybody to head over to our main group chat on Discord? I just want to make sure everybody can like conduct their lives there. And before I begin anything, I kind of like haphazardly asked you guys, you can each join 3 groups. So just make sure that you take advantage of that. Like it's a really, really cool opportunity to meet alums. Like we have student moderators that are, a lot of them have been like SOF winners in the past, and they run these groups. They want to hear from you. They know about you. They know that there's the 17s just joined. So they've like created these awesome groups, and they try to do like little events and contests and things like that within these groups. But it's also awesome. You're going to be declaring the problem that you will solve in a week. A week from today, everyone in this room is going to be declaring, I'm sorry, in 2 weeks from today, you will declare which problem that you will tackle. You will find like your niche in that area. So if you are interested in education or foreign relations, communication in any form, join the group, just start like asking interesting questions. They will love it. They will literally love it. And like you'll meet some people from different cohorts, which is always nice. All right, so you have the opportunity to join 3. Please get at me if I haven't like done that for you yet, okay? All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, let's just head over to our exclusive chat. I'm in a lot of chats, so I'm just gonna head to ours. The general chat is here. Great. So can everybody get here and say hi? And if you're having trouble, we'll make sure that's fixed right away. Okay. Okay. And please message me like right now if you are not in this, and I will make that happen for you. But I'm going to start with the first question here. Put into this chat every little thing that you've ever wondered about the world, like other cultures, other parts of the world, just things that you're just like, what? Anything you've ever wondered, put it here. You can put a couple things in, obviously. Say the first one, send it in. Say another one, send it in. Great. Wondering about Mandarin.
Hi, Kelsey, could you please just repeat what we're supposed to do? I missed that. Sorry, my signal's a bit weird.
You're fine. Put into the chat everything you've ever wondered about the world. Other cultures. There we go. Oh, I want to hear about that, Rim, for sure. Seems like you already know, but like more to wonder. Right. Keep it coming, people.
Kelsey.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I don't have the group chat.
Okay. Is this Ash? Who is this?
Portia.
Portia. Portia, let me get you that, right? Ah, I see why. 1 second, Portia. That's why. There you go. Now you should see it.
Thank you.
Ah. And please speak up, you guys, if anybody else. I'm never hesitate. Wow. Okay. Interesting, guys. All right. Now what I want you to do is respond, like see who said something here, reply to anybody and kind of say like why you also like resonate with this curiosity, like why, like add to their curiosity, add another question if you want, or just kind of ask like why you connect with the thing that they're wondering. Wow, Yara, that's big. I'm actually going to send that to the SOF team right now. That's really cool question that you're asking. Wow. You guys like hold on to these wonders and like actually my dad says I'm a lazy curious person because I have curiosities and I don't do anything about it. Like take your curiosities and actually find more out so then you can have more curiosities. Okay, excellent. I'll get you guys one more minute for this. Yes. Xolofelo, that's so interesting. I literally love this. Amazing, Banati. Would love anybody right now to just speak out about like the one that's like jumping to them right now, or right. Lou, I'm asking, was there ever peace? Anybody have an answer to that? Y'all, to answer your question, are we happy or distracted from sadness? There's a psychologist that says there really isn't any such thing as like happiness. There's really just like a relief from pain. Like I hate to, it sounds so negative, but it's true. It's like you overcome something, you feel like a wave of happiness. You like, it's just the ease of not having to feel something like negative, but it's, so just know that it's always like rolling around. That's kind of how I feel about peace. I feel like there's everything, it's always tug and pull. There's never like perfect static or moment.
Kelsey, do you believe that we experience happiness? Like after reading the whole thing from the psychologist, do you think that we experience like we've ever experienced true happiness, or we're all just like aiming to get to something that's impossible?
All right, great question. Thanks for asking me. I mean, everyone else can answer too, but I actually am a huge believer that there's a lot of us are like, I can't wait to get happy. I'm going to be happy. Like later in my life, once I do all this, I'm going to be happy. You're happy every day in small waves. It's just, and you're never going to be like, there's no like, okay, I'm only happy from this point forward. Like it doesn't work like that. I don't think that there is like, it's going to continuously be like up and down for the rest of your life, which is like kind of nice and fun. Like things get really lame if it's the same feeling over and over again. So yeah, that's my answer to that. I brought this up to a lot of students. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Please go.
I wanted to ask if I could also add something to that.
Yeah.
Because one interesting fact that I learned is we're self-programming ourselves in our brains. And if we say, oh, I'm so sad and like my day has been so rough, then our brain is going to pick all of the information in our day and only see that. That's like negative. But if we like self-affirm us, no, I'm happy and my day is good and everything's fine, then your brain is automatically going to pick that sort of information.
Completely. You guys have a lot of control, honestly. Things that are laid out in front of you, like they're not determining what's gonna like, what you're gonna feel. This is awesome. I like this pure from the start. Divided into social classes is really, really important to think about, like how that pans out. Okay. Okay. The last thing though, the last thing to ask here is just simply this. What are the problems that you guys see? you've answered this a lot. You wouldn't be in this academy if you didn't have a good answer to this. But so please be specific. You don't need it to be like a big global goal. I want you to be as specific and real as possible.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. Yes, Jabri. All the problems that you see in the world, like any like little details, big details, specific moments. Okay. True, Luam, very true. A lot of you guys saying people not caring about other problems, and like that's great that we can do that. We can fix that for sure. Okay, what you're gonna do now, everybody, you're gonna be with one person for just 3 minutes. Take everything that was generated here, everything that you care about, everything that you asked and wanted to like address. That's the thing. And I want you guys to combine everything as much as you can and come up with one question that you think the world should like have to answer, basically, right? Something that would get the world thinking in a direction that is really, really necessary right now. All right, so combine your thoughts as much as possible. You'll be with one person. It is completely random. Like throughout this whole experience, there's going to be times that you're going to end up with everybody. Like I said, I'm just going to do this randomly. There, everybody's with somebody. You have 3 minutes. Come up with one question that you think society needs to like sit with and actually address. Okay. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes, it's clear. Thank you.
Thanks. And I'll be here too if you want to like stay back and ask more. Luam, are you all right?
Sorry, my microphone wasn't working and I accidentally left the breakout room. Can you please add me again?
Yeah, I'm putting you as somebody else, if that's okay. Oh, I see where you were supposed to be. Got it. Hey, Ash and Rim.
Hey.
Hey, I'm excited. What was the question? Hi. Jabri? You go by Jabri mostly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've only had one student in my lifetime named Jabri. It was actually like my first teaching job.
So many people in Morocco have their second name is Jabri or their first name.
Yeah, this was a girl in Detroit though, so like there's not that many Jabris around here, but she was bold. I loved her. Okay, I think we'll all be forced to be back in just a second, so we'll wait till everybody gets back and then you guys can tell.
Okay.
Okay, so real quick, everyone's gonna go around and say what that one question was. I'm gonna start with throwing Jerica. Jerica and Portia, what did you guys come up with?
Oh, hi. Jerica and I were discussing like I think climate change in society and like why there's always like a set standard and why it's constantly changing, but then at the same time it's like hard to change as well, and like they have expectations of younger children.
Expectations of younger children, like you mean making sure that they get a planet to live on, or like what we need them to do like habit wise?
Yes, habit wise. Well, yeah. I don't know generally.
Sure. There's a lot of people, like kids growing up, it doesn't even occur to them. And that's like, you know, why would it at first, right? You don't know about like the fact that like all this trash, you just think it's normal to throw away this much trash and et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Really great. Really great. Selma, and would you tell what you and Sholofelo and Luam came up with?
So I think we had in the beginning a little problems with like connection and everything, but in the end, what we like came to, we talked a lot about what's in France happening with the government banning girls under 18 to wear the hijab and how it's suppressing them not to be able to do what they want because it's still an important factor to have the choice. And just like asking ourselves, what can we do to help? Like, because a lot of people are just like, well, that's the way it is, and how am I supposed to do anything? But like we have to like be curious and ask ourselves, how can it be better? And because that's, for example, for me is like a big problem because it's like diminishing human rights. And it's just important not to accept everything and always want to improve the situation. And one thing I also noticed is we in the group chat we often talked about ignorance, like in a lot of the texts. And I think that people often fear to be overpowered, which then leads them to making such decisions, like, for example, banning the hijab and just like taking away human rights from other people so they could have the biggest power. And I think that's like very, very wrong, because I think a lot of it has to do with fear of them being overpowered.
Yeah. Right. They're just like ready to make a decision and say that this is the right decision and not have to like go back, instead of like leaving it as an open, continuous evolution of like the best rules. The best rule followers are the ones who are like open to continually change the rules. The rules should be changing every day because we're changing every day. Okay. Thank you so much for bringing it up. And I hope you guys know this quote as well. I didn't bring this one up, but like the easiest way that people give up power is by thinking that they have none. And that's definitely something that I think this group, like a theme right now, like a lot of people think that all of it rests in a small group of people. So I can't really do anything right now. And so like, let's just not talk about it anymore. And like, again, thank God you guys are here. Sorry, gonna go to Naima, your team, or your little like mini temporary team of Yara and Banati. I'm gonna ask you to share the question.
Ours was actually very similar to that. We said like the discrimination that people have, and like the ignorance that they have on big issues, they make them very small. So like, for example, the hijab as well, we said the way people are ignoring the big issue that they have in France, that girls are not allowed, like they say that they can like not, oh gosh, I don't know how to like explain it, but they're like saying that they cannot cover up their body, but if they want to cover up their body, they can't.
Yeah.
One more thing, actually, it's not that's not just the issue. The president's wife is saying that that hijab scares the children. Like, sis, are you scared from a piece of fabric?
Yeah.
First of all, they're not allowing mothers who wear the hijab to accompany their children in school trips. That's a problem. They're not allowing anyone, as Naima said, any girl under the age of 18 to wear the hijab. If you have the choice to cover up your to not cover up your body and show it, you should also have the choice to cover it up. That should be your choice, whether it's for religious beliefs or not. I think that's also another problem. And it's not just about hijabis in general, it's about Muslims in general. They said that starting from June or July, all Muslim shops, they're gonna force them to start selling pork or wine, which are things in our religion we're not allowed to consume or eat or sell or whatever. And they said the government is gonna close down their shops if they're not gonna sell pork or wine in it. And I think that's so Islamophobic. That's not okay. It's not acceptable. And the fact that no one is talking about it, it gets on my nerves. It frustrates me. And we can do something. They just don't want to do it.
It's honestly absurd, and I'm pretty speechless. There's like, I'm not sure, like we'll get into their motives, like figure out why that this is like that. But it just, to me, these are things that are so simple, like, you know, so simple that you should be able to wear what you want, to cover what you want. Like, I just don't, I'm really sorry that is like that right now. And I think I heard about this like several years ago, and I didn't know that it actually like passed and was a thing. This is in France solely?
Everywhere, especially in Europe and the US, for years, till this very day, they're not okay with Muslims. They just, yeah.
Okay. Again, like excited that like we can actually do something about it and break that apart. We have like a lot of access to different people from different parts, and people who are in communities where there are people who are ignorant about this. And like you guys can be very, very strategic in the way that you want to inform people and get things like changed and moving. So we have two more people to go. Ash and Jabri would like to hear from you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, we talk about selfishness, and other people that, well, just don't care about other people, and well, the companies that look to do the cheapest way to, well, produce the product. And well, they build massive factories from China, Vietnam, lots of countries, and well, they don't pay almost anything to the workers. And well, it's a problem for me companies looking for reduce their expenses by contracting people by for nothing, for almost nothing.
You're completely right. It's like, this is a huge reason that people have to, like, poverty exists and people stay and like they can't climb out of certain economic classes. It's a huge, there's this mentality for companies that they just cut more corners, That's like what, and it's like really glad if you take this on, fully look into the history of how things used to work like 50, 100 years ago versus now. And I'm so glad that somebody would tackle this. Thank you. The last team we have is Valentina and Nada.
Okay, so I'll of course give a chance for Valentina to share a little bit, but something I found that me and Valentina are really passionate about is educating people, and most importantly, people acting upon this education that we're providing for them. So the question that we asked was, what is the easiest and most accessible way to to educate everyone? Because we thought about it like through phones, okay, but sometimes people just skip it. Okay, can we give them like a reward? But what reward can we give them? So it was kind of like, even if you educate everyone, which you can't do that because not everyone's aware about all the issues, and even something like pollution, which is most people are aware about, not everyone's actually doing something about it. So definitely educating people and raising awareness and making people act upon this education that you're providing for them is really important. If Valentina would like to share something else.
Yeah, not only, I mean, my point of view about this is basically, if I do something about one problem in the world, then I'm doing it myself. It's one person helping some other people, I guess. But if you teach people how to do it as well, and you provide them with an easy way to help tackle an issue, then there will be many people, not only me, right, helping solve those problems. And so I think it's also important to teach them how to teach other people to help. Because if you teach people, but then you tell them, okay, you can get more people to do this, then, you know, there will be more people helping solve real life problems every time. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Can I add something as well? So an example just came to mind. It's actually very childish, but okay. So Kung Fu Panda, right? So I don't know what's it called in English. I don't know if they have the same name. So Master Shifu, it's like the little dude. He wanted to help the village himself, but eventually he learned that, okay, I need to teach other people how to do this. I can't do this by myself. Like, as we go along the movie as well, we learned that Tigress, that she can't do everything herself. She needs to help people and to educate Panda how to do the stuff as well. So because she can't do something by herself alone, you definitely need to educate people how to do stuff so they can help you. You'll never be able to do something alone.
Damn. So true. So true. If you want to be a CEO, like, you have to figure out how to like make sure people are like, they know what to do and the best is pulled out of them. Plus, people can't always learn in the same way. Not everybody, a lecture just doesn't do it. Like, you can't just preach to somebody. Everybody has to discover things on their own. And then, as you guys are saying, take some action and things like that. Okay. Any last, like, anybody want to respond to each other? Always know that you guys can just like go for it. If you have something to add, I feel like I probably add too much, but I want you guys to feel like you know that you can add something if anybody wants.
May I?
Yeah, please.
I think that the phrase of saying it's not too late to fix this, it's not too late to fix that, it's a bit overrated and unrealistic. Like, let's be realistic here. Some things are actually way too late to fix it. We can fix the issues that affect what it's affected so far, but we can't fix at least 60% of it. We cannot do that. We have to be a little bit realistic in here. We can't say, oh, it's not too late to fix pollution. We're gonna take off 90% of it in the next years. We cannot say that. That's way too unrealistic. It's not, we just keep convincing ourselves that it's not too late to fix something, and you're not doing something. Like, I'm sorry, you're the one who's being an idiot right here, and just figure something out instead of just spreading awareness that it's not too late when you yourself, you don't know how to do something. You don't know how to fix something.
Interesting.
I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but
I see both. I see all kind of sides, to be honest, because people want hope. Otherwise, nobody wants to do anything. But Nati wants to say something.
I completely agree with what Yara just brought up. I think this thing about it's not too late to turn things around. It's a very, very overrated statement, because it's really important for us to understand that these things, these especially with like things like Islamophobia, for instance, these things are deeply entrenched in people, and there's literally no way for people to literally like you can't change the way a person sees things, which is the worst thing, because I mean, well, you can change the way a person sees things, but it's a terrible idea that we even have to try in the first place. I feel like people should learn how to understand one another and take it from there, rather than saying, oh no, but you can still fix it, you can still change it. It's like, do you realize how much work and how many people you have to reach? Like, how am I going to reach those people in front who are saying these things, these Islamophobic things about people, these inconsiderate things? How, like, I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying, how am I going to make sure that I can get to those people that are causing the problem and actually make them see that what they're doing is wrong, because they are under the impression that they are so correct for what they're doing that they feel that it has to be law. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people think that a lot of their swayed and messed up perceptions are the right ways of thinking. And it's like, it's a pity, because a lot of people believe that things have to change with the coming in generation, and everything's going to be different and people are going to view things differently. And it's a pity, because we're living in a world now with people who have so many of these phobias that are really upsetting to those who are who are subject to those prejudices. So it's like, we need to work together to sort of like, and we need to work now, really. It's not too late. We need to start now. I mean, it is too late. We need to start now in trying to change the perception of people and make them see that there's actually nothing wrong with seeing things from a different perspective, or even just minding your own business and not bothering people at all. Like, just don't impose your negativity and your ignorance onto other people to a point where you have to make someone else uncomfortable.
Brilliant. We're affecting each other a lot, and I don't think that like we realize that, like, what it does. Jabri has her hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to add something. It's really cool what Nati and Yara said. And Islamophobic is a perfect example. When we educate people better, and when the whole world is working together, we can solve so many problems. For example, also that people think that Muslims also, I don't know, accept Muslims, that we are terrorists and just hating other religions. This is so, I think it's so dumb, because we are a religion of peace. So when we educate people and when they work together, we can also, we wouldn't focus on racism. We can focus on so many important things. For example, people can't live. They are so poor they can't eat a thing, or they are dying because we are so ignorant. So I think when we solve these problems together, we can solve problems that are exposing other lives. So you understand?
I want to add something.
Please go ahead.
Some things, some movements that we do and we've already done or we're planning on doing actually did do something, did help, and people are not realizing it. Like, I'm assuming everyone knows about the Black Lives Matter movement that happened. It made a lot of people wake up to the issue about racism. I'm not saying that racism is not a problem and it's not a world problem anymore. I'm not saying that there are no racist people out in this world, but it did teach something. I've seen at least 10 people on the media saying that now they're educated and they're apologizing about everything they did or whatever. I'm not saying that there are no racism acts out there, but it did do something. So if we try to figure out what are the solutions we're trying to do that are not working, and what are the solutions out there that we're trying to do that are working, and we just figure things out, it is gonna work. Like, let's say bullying. I've been in 6 schools in my life. I've moved schools 6 times in my life, and I've seen every single year at least 2 presentations in the auditorium about how about not bullying and whatever. Nothing is happening. Bullying is still happening. You're not talking about it in the correct way. You can't just go up to a person. I'm sorry. You can't just go up to a person and be like, hey, do not hit me. What you're doing is wrong. You're a bully. Don't be a bully. Let's be that's too unrealistic. Like, come on, people. There are much better ways to deal with it. You just don't want to think about it. You don't want to convince yourself. You don't want to believe. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear the correct. You don't want to hear it to do it the hard way. You think that this is how you're going to do it, the easy way. The easy way doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. Some people are going to say that Black Lives Matter, for example, it's a trend. Well, I don't care if you think it's a trend. Some people did think it's a trend. Some people didn't. But it did fix something, didn't it? Can anyone agree with me that it did fix something? It did fix some of the racism happening out there. They just don't want to admit it. They just want to come up there and hate and be like, it was just a waste of time. It was a trend. Even if it was a trend, let's suppose you thought that it was a trend. It did fix something. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it did. Can I add something?
I saw Jerica's hand up, actually, if you don't mind. I saw Jerica's hand go, and I want to make sure that Jerica gets to go. Then I saw Portia and Salma and Jabri. And you guys, actually, there is the bulk of everything is happening. I have to announce it in a second. But Jerica, we'd love for you to go.
Well, yeah, like, regarding the Black Lives Matter, like, I hate that there are people, they're like, why is this, like they don't believe in, like, they don't support it. They say, like, oh, George Floyd, he was not an angel. Like, for example, he took drugs before he was killed. And they're like, why is he an angel? Why are people, like, praising him? And, like, they don't see that he's basically, like, making people aware. And they're just so blind that they don't see, like, oh yeah, like, I don't support Black Lives Matter. He was he was the perpetrator, to say.
Thank you. I mean, it's all much bigger, and it needs a lot more, like, opening up. The entire topic needs a lot more, like, busting open, and people are afraid to. People don't think they need to contribute to the conversation, and that's, like, a huge reason that it's a problem. Portia, go ahead.
Oh yes, that, like, I heard, oh sorry, let me take down my hand. I heard what, like, Yara was saying, and I totally agree with that on the bullying thing. Well, with everything, but especially the bullying thing, when they say stuff like, go to the person who's bullying you and tell them that it's not okay. And the thing is, for me, the fact that somebody is constantly tormenting you in the first place means that they won't exactly be receptive to hearing what they've done wrong. It will take, and we need to think more. It will take a lot more than just speaking your feelings, because I'm pretty sure most people know that they're hurting you, and they know that, like, that's their intention. So I agree that we definitely need to, and teachers as well, need to think of ways to actually tackle the issue as well.
100%. Okay, you guys. I know that Jabri and Salma and Nada as well want to, like, say something, but I don't want to. I mean, to be honest, we can stay as long as you guys want, but there is something that we're all about to do. It's like a 30-minute activity now. All right. And, like, again, first of all, I want to also say that Nikita would love to hear all of this. Like, and I'll have her watch the footage. Like, she loves you guys. And, like, you guys actually are a group that is, like, it's only your first contest. And, like, all of this is being, like, said in such rich detail. So, like, be really proud of that fact. And, like, you will do a lot with it, especially as you go through design thinking and, like, go very, very deep into these issues. And each of you continue to help each other with it and continue to, like, be like, hey, you said something cool in the session. Can we have a 20-minute conversation? Because, like, I want to pick your brain about, like, that thing that you said, and let's go. Let's ask more people in the world about this. Please go onto Discord and, like, put these kinds of thoughts and questions. Just throw them out there. You'll never know who you meet from. Like, every School of Future student that I've ever known is, like, insanely powerful, and would love to be like, oh, you're a fresher, you just got here. Let's talk. you can obviously sign up for some of their companies as well. Esther is someone who runs the race relations channel, and I just had a call with her last night for like a very long time about like she has a company called Let's Talk About It. You guys can like, she would love to know all of you guys, to be honest. Want to bring her, like just want you all to meet. But anyways, what I was going to say about Nikita, Nikita has lost a family member due to COVID, so that is why she could not be here today. And like she wanted to let you guys know that, and like she like adores all of you, and like was obviously very like bummed to not come, but she's insanely strong, and she will be there for her family like as much as possible right now. So that's why she is not here. So just letting you know about that. And now I'm going to kind of announce what your mission is. All right. On that note, you guys have the opportunity to ask the world a question that you think would shake things up a bit and get people thinking in a direction that is necessary. You as a team, you're going to decide on just one question. All of you combine forces, everything that's been discussed, everything that you had said into your chat, whatever, put it into one question. And this question should not only get the world to think, but it should also get a variety of answers. Like you want to learn from this question, right? Like you don't ask something that you know the answer to. Ask a question that would get like a wide range of answers. And you'll keep all of these answers in one place so that we can all see them together. I'm going to put you into breakout rooms basically for this. I recommend deciding on your question within the first 5 or 10 minutes. Then you have the rest of the time to shoot this question out. Send it out to parents, teachers, friends. You can honestly put it on the SOAF Discord in different places if you want. You can put it anywhere. But your point is to get as many answers, variety of answers as possible in the next 30 minutes. So is it clear? Please ask anything right now.
So let me get this straight. We're basically just asking questions and waiting for answers. That's it.
One question though. You have to choose one. As a team, you collectively have to combine everything that you want to ask, putting it into one question. Make sure your question is like specific and broad at the same time. Like you want a wide range of answers, but you want people to say things that are like very true and very specific. So decide on just one question together. Like I said, you have a kind of a huge opportunity. Like you are all from different places in this world. You all know a wide range of people, and the thing that you ask them will get them thinking in a direction that they wouldn't normally think about. Like, I'm not kidding you. It has a huge effect. All of a sudden people are thinking in ways that they didn't plan on thinking about, and it helps them. So get all your answers. You will put them, like I said, you'll be in a Zoom room. That's kind of the easiest right now. But like you guys can be texting and typing into your like team chats just so you can keep all the answers like in one place. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm going to open up your rooms. You guys go there for now, and you have 30 minutes to get as many answers as possible. Okay. And have fun with it too. Luam. Yeah, I'll add you to your team again. Sorry for that. Let's see where you are. Team 3. Jerica, did you leave out? Okay, good, you're good. So we're missing Jenny.
The question we asked is that if we started figuring out how to fix a problem instead of blaming it and punishing who did it, how would things or perspectives be different? What would it change anything, especially in huge problems that governments have and monarchs have and presidents have and stuff?
It's a long question. And how did were people able to like give you an answer quickly?
They just had to, because they know that I would kill them. They just had to. Most of the were like they're gonna waste time.
Repeat the question. You have to say it one more time for me too, because it was a bit long.
Yeah. If we started figuring out how to fix a problem instead of blaming and punishing who did it, how would things / perspectives be different? How would things change?
Okay. What do you think holds people back from wanting to come up with like a solution?
Wanting to hurt or like being mad at the person who made something that way or like made the problem. Like let's suppose I have a husband and someone killed my husband, and now there are so much finance issues that's happening with his bank account. Let's suppose that happened. Okay, I'm obviously gonna mentally, I'm just gonna forget about everything and be so mad at the dude who killed my husband because I love my husband and he killed him. But I should focus more on the issues that are gonna happen that are gonna ruin my life and fix them first. if we want to think in a mentally stable way. But I'm not gonna think that way at that point, because I'm not gonna be focused, and I'm just gonna want to put that person in prison.
Sure. We can only be focused on like 10% of what is actually like in front of us, to be honest. We can't take it all in. What about Valentina or Naima? What do you guys think? Why
Well, I don't know. I think, yeah, that's basically what we're talking about. Many people just try to do, like, they always want to go the easy way, right? And so if I have a problem, the easiest thing to do is just blame someone and like wait for them to do something about it instead of trying to solve it myself. So I think that's part of the problem, and that's why people blame each other instead of trying to actually tackle issues. But I don't know, I just got oh my god, a really long answer from a friend of mine.
Put it in. Let's see it. Naima, what about you? And I'm so sorry. Would you say your name for me one more time? Because I know that I'm saying it wrong. I heard somebody else say it and they said it better than me. So like, I want to hear from you.
Oh, it's Naima.
Naima. Okay. Great. Tell us what's yours.
Well, I actually just thought of something new now as well. I think especially with the climate change issue, I think everyone knows deep down inside that they are guilty in some sort of way of the way the planet is, like for pollution and the sea and everything. And that also, I think, is a reason why people blame it on other people, and that it's not getting solved like fast enough, because everyone's blaming it on big companies, but really it's like individual households as well.
And I don't know if you realize it, but most of the time when, let's suppose you see a video spreading awareness about pollution, for example, like the whole entire video is speaking about how pollution happened. You're not explaining to us what can we do, how can we fix the problem, what is the process of fixing the problem. All you're doing is that showing who should we blame over the pollution that happened and how the pollution formed, so that we could be more mad at what's happening. It's not doing anything.
You know, I think like this blame, I think one thing that came to my mind immediately when you asked this question, this was my original answer. I think a lot of people feel like their answer is, their solution is like they're embarrassed. Their solution is like not enough. Their solution is dumb, right? Whenever you have an idea, you immediately like start to think like it's scary to tell people. People think your idea is dumb. You know what I mean? So people have all these kind of like half ideas floating around in their brain, but they're just like, oh, I don't really want to say it because everyone's going to like judge it. Yeah. And also when you do say your idea out loud, there's like 10 people barking at you being like, but the idea doesn't solve it in this way. And no idea does. There's no one solution that covers everything. But like, we need to stop shutting each other down and be like, all right, cool. We have 10 little half ideas. Let's like at least try all of them in some form, see what happens. Once you try it, it leads to like another solution too. You are able to see more. So that's like, just know that people are feeling like that for sure as well. Tell us the long answer you just received. Was it from you, Valentina? It's from a friend?
Yeah, it's from...
Check this out, all of this.
Yeah, we put them into our group chat. Oh my god.
Good. Everybody's back. Except for our team 2. Oh wait. Yeah, we're waiting for
We are team 2.
Sorry, we're waiting for the third team, and I'm struggling to remember their name. It was very insightful and cool. Okay. I love that Luam has the honey. Want to know the story behind it. Would love, not gonna lie, everybody to like, I would love to like see everybody if possible. I know it's not always possible, like wherever you are in the world or like bandwidths, etc. But it's great to see. Good. Yay. We are all back. Right now we have like 10 minutes left just to close things off, but get out a pen and paper. You guys are gonna be teachers in some form. You're gonna be there to, you guys have much better feedback for each other than any like adult like myself does. Because you're in it. You're the ones that just did it.
So what is the other team's questions? I'm really interested about that.
Right, exactly. We're gonna all go around and answer, like, just share the question we chose. We're gonna share like a little bit about the experience too. Like, what was hard about combining ideas? Why did you land on that question? And as each team has their like stage to share, everyone else, if you could, on your notebook page, just write down what you think that team did well and anything else you think could have like been different or adjusted. Give your feedback, basically. Like, there's the categories that we usually grade you guys in are: how well did you combine ideas? Does the question itself like get a lot of like thorough, great answers? Wide range of answers as well. And then we also grade you guys how many answers did you get. That one's just like a little bit more like standard. But anyways, so while each team is going, I want everybody else that's here to take notes, or like take notes, the good and the bad that you see in them. All right, just your own way, your own grading style, however you want to do it. Really get comfortable. I was just teaching another group this: feedback. Do not compliment each other constantly. We want you guys to say things that are constructive. I am way more complimented when somebody actually has something descriptive to say. They noticed something and they had something productive to tell me, instead of just telling me that I did great. Go ahead, Jabri.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I want to say we struggled really hard about to find a question one question what we want to ask the whole world. So we was thinking so hard about it, because we have so many questions we want to ask. And I think 5 minutes we was thinking about really hard, and then we was just, wow, why we don't think about it. And our question is what you want to ask. So the actual question, what do you want to ask the whole world? And I think it's a really good question, because we can see how different people are thinking, and in which way they are thinking about some things. And it's a general question. And yeah.
That's kind of genius. You just flipped the whole thing. Instead of like coming up with a question, you just asked everyone else, what would you want to ask? That's kind of brilliant. Jabri, I'm so sorry. What's your, like, you are with Jerica and Sholofelo and Selma, but what's your team name? I forgot.
We called ourselves Business Mafia, but you can say the short form, GBM.
I love you. I'm going to call you Unibusiness Mafia only, because I like that a lot. Great. So let's hear from someone else in your team. Awesome that you guys struggled a little bit to combine and like came up. I would like to hear the other contenders of like questions that you might have like been considering but had to take the call. Was there any moment, like, I definitely am like the kind of person where if other people like shut my idea down, I'm like, no. So are there any moments like that? Like, how did the team coordinate?
So I could just like start talking if somebody later has something to add. Like everybody, well, we were like for already, like Rim said, not coming together to settle on one question. And then I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to ask very direct, and I have to find now one question. And then I was like asking everybody, like, okay, what's the one question that in our whole conversation stood out to you the most? And then of course everybody was like more tending towards their own, which is absolutely fine. And then I was like thinking for like 2 minutes longer, and I was just like, what if we just ask, like, what is the one question that you would want the world to hear, or like to like ask the world that one particular question? And then everybody was like, oh, that pretty much solves our problem. And also, what's very interesting, I'm so sorry, but I'm not sure if I got everything that Rim was talking about, because I'm still receiving some messages and answers, so I might be a little repetitive, because it was interesting to see how far people took it, how serious they took it, and if they were like only like a little joking about it or like very serious. And that was like very interesting.
I literally love this. Makes me so happy that you guys had to make a crunch time decision and knew that you had to you were like, all right, guys, we got to be direct with each other because we know we're like, that's exactly how colleagues like work well together. You get really close because you're like, we need to get this done. Nobody's going to be hurt feelings. Let's go. Cool. And in like the most positive way possible. We're trying to make the best out of, do our best. Great. And let's hear from potentially Jerica. Do you want to tell us anything about like some of the questions, some of the answers that came in?
Well, sure. Like if I'm wrong, like I might be wrong. Like Cholofelo, like she leaned against racism and those kind of questions. Selma wanted to ask something about miscommunication, and we just all of us just had different opinions and topics and questions we wanted to like ask. So I think that was the one.
Okay, you kind of covered it all. Yeah, and Cholofelo, tell us like about some of the responses that came in from like you guys. Again, you're all from different parts of the world, so like all of your friends have like different things to say. So it's kind of cool to like hear what your friends said. I'd be like, oh, this is my best friend. He's such a weirdo, and look what he said. Cool.
Okay, it was really interesting to get answers from different views. I'm not used to it, so it was kind of challenging, but it was fun at the same time because we ended up coming up with something creative, different. Yeah, it was really nice. I enjoyed it, although it was frustrating at the time, but at the end it was nice.
Any interesting responses though that come to the top of your head that you want to tell us about?
Okay, what got me thinking is that the topic of Selma, of miscommunication, and afterwards it got me thinking that okay, we are really miscommunicating here. We are not hearing each other's ideas clearly. And then I was like, okay, I may have some responses with regards to it. And then I guess I was maybe settling to the idea of our question being miscommunication until she came up with this one of asking a question on top of a question, which was amazing. Yeah.
Okay. Love to hear it. Cool. All right. So I hope everybody took some notes. I liked a lot of things that were just said here. Clearly you guys combined forces really well. Gonna go to the team that has Ash and Banati and Luam. And you guys are gonna have to so sorry, tell me your team name one more time. I know it was like had a really strong reasoning behind it. Tell me the team name one more time and let's hear from you guys.
Hi Kelsey, can you hear me? All right, so our team name is the Intrepids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Intrepid, the Intrepids.
Yeah. Tell us the question you guys
So our question was, are there unsolvable problems in the world that result in a lack of action or productivity? So this is a combination of two questions. So the original two questions were, why is the world so unproductive? Why is there a lack of productivity in the world? And do you think that this productivity is a result of people not being able to find the solutions to the problems that we have in the world? So we combined the two questions and came up with the final one, which is, are there unsolvable problems in the world that result in a lack of action or productivity? And basically, so we came up with this quick answer amongst ourselves because we were just picking each other's brains and just just trying to see where everybody stands on this particular question. And ultimately, our answer was basically that a lot of the reasons why we believe that there isn't a lot of action being taken to resolve or deal with the issues that we face in the world, no matter what the issue is because one, a lot of people have no idea where they fall on the fighting for justice spectrum with regards to a particular issue. And I used we used the example of Islamophobia, for instance. And if I were to go and fight against Islamophobia, I wouldn't go and stand in the front line and be like, yeah, no Islamophobia, because I don't know my place in a particular issue. So I think we think that a lot of the reason why people don't do anything about something is because they don't know where they stand, whether they're an ally or whether they're directly affected by the problem. They don't know where they stand because we're too scared to overstep our boundaries and our position in that particular fight. So we believe that's the reason why a lot of people, there's a lack of productivity and a lack of action that's taken place to solve any of the problems that we have in this world, purely because a lot of people don't know where they stand and where they can step in. Another thing we came up with is that, and I think this was Nada's answer actually, that people don't know. Oh my God, I forgot how I was going to start this. Oh yeah, people feel somewhat that they're not going to make a difference when they raise awareness about a particular thing. So that's something that holds people back as well, is that they feel like I'm 1 out of 7 billion people that are trying to raise awareness about this thing. What kind of an impact could I possibly make as this one person? And building on Nada's answer, we came to the conclusion that a lot of people need to somewhat it's a lot easier said than done, but a lot of people need to overcome their fear of not knowing the impact that they have, because everything has to start from somewhere. And the idea that it is impossible to achieve something purely because you feel like you're the only one trying to achieve it is something that we need to eradicate in the minds of people completely. Because it is possible for people to unlearn the prejudices that they have now. And I made the example of the fact that people are not born homophobic, Islamophobic, racist. They're taught all of these things. So the same way we are taught and we learn all of these things is the same way it's possible for us to unlearn a lot of these things. And we just need to find a way as people fighting against these issues to get information in front of people and in front of enough people. And basically that's how we feel that we could eradicate the issue of a lack of action and a fear of taking action amongst people.
Brilliant question. I really, really like to see kind of like cause and effect, unproductive actions causing more problems. Great. And like how they feel. Excellent to explore it. I want to hear from Luam, if you could share like anything about like what happened with the team, like anything that's like you guys, how did you come together? How did you guys what was it like sharing some of the responses that you got to?
It was kind of easy actually. Everyone had similar views on like what they want to talk about. So we just thought, what would people do? Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. What would people do if they weren't affected by like, you know, their productivity? Like if they knew so much about the situation, what would they do? If they were given the opportunity to actually, you know, learn about the situation, what they could do, how would they approach that question? I don't know if I'm making sense, sorry.
Oh, it's cool. That's awesome. That's really, really good. And I'm going to go to the very last team, the Teletubbies. You guys are up.
Right. Hang on, I forgot our questions. Oh yeah. Our question is, if we started figuring out how to fix a problem instead of blaming and punishing who did it, how would things or perspectives be different? Like, especially if we already know, everyone knows that a lot of problems, huge problems happened in history, and massive problems that have happened, and bipartisanships have happened before, and they focused on punishing. So how would they be different if we focused on solving the issue, on figuring out a solution instead of figuring out whom to punish, whom to blame, and stuff like that? Valentina, Naima, you want to add anything?
I was gonna say that something interesting that I found out like doing this is that many people have said that when we start blaming each other for doing things and we start raising hate between people instead of actually fixing problems, it can also lead to depression, and it can also lead to many people being, not being mentally healthy, I guess. And yeah, I don't know, many friends that I have asked the question to have come to that conclusion. That was interesting. I don't know.
Really,
Yeah, good. Please go. Yeah. You muted yourself though.
a really interesting answer that we got, actually. I think it was like really mature as well. I'll read it out now. It was, in my opinion, there's a problem. Oh, wait, this is different. Oh, yeah. So, in my opinion, there's a problem with this common scenario. However, where there is blame, there is no learning. Where there is blame, open minds close. Inquiry tends to cease, and the desire to understand the whole system diminishes. When people work in an atmosphere of blame, they naturally cover up their errors and hide their real concerns. And when energy goes into finger pointing, scapegoating, and denying responsibility, productivity suffers because the organization lacks information about the real state of affairs. It's impossible to make good decisions with poor information. So I think that was really good, because when you think about it, like everyone, like an example that I thought about as well was with climate change. When you think about it, everyone like blames big companies, and they say, oh, they're like polluting the air, or they're like letting all the plastic from their company go into the ocean. But really, it's all of us and all of our different like small like communities and everything, that it all like adds up, and all of our like waste and everything, it makes a big difference as well when you add it all together.
You guys, honestly, that what a, I guess, philosophical kind of question in some ways. Like you just sparked a lot of people. Like that person would not have been able to come up with that answer if they hadn't like had you asking them this today. Just realize that. That's like really great that you did that. And I'm not gonna lie, all of these teams are really, really powerful. I am like wildly impressed with every team in different ways. I have taken my notes. I'm gonna send these notes into the Discord chat. You guys should do the same, and then a winner will be chosen accordingly. Like I will take a look at which answers you guys like have in your team chat. So make sure that as they keep coming, put them in there, etc. Because I know people will probably still be answering, but just know the impact that you just had on like people that you know from all different places who wanted to answer this. And like that, thank you so much, Naima, because that was a really cool answer that that person shared. And I think everybody would benefit from seeing it. We're going to close the session now. Selma's hand is up though. So go ahead, Selma.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, where are we supposed to put in the answers that we received?
Yeah, put your answers into your team chat, basically. Sharing my screen really quickly. This would be
on Discord or what?
Yeah, on Discord. Which screen am I sharing? Just trying to make sure it's the right one.
That app really frustrates me.
What does?
Way too many buttons. Discord, it has way too many buttons. That's so annoying.
I agree that I dislike that I have to scroll a lot to find you guys, but it is quite worth it. I'm not kidding you when I say it's worth it. Like these alums are like so eager to meet you, and you guys have such an opportunity to like right away start asking just asking the world questions. Like you put one question in and a drop, like answers will just spill, and people will want to be able to like meet you and talk to you and test their ideas out on you. So it's worth it, even though I also dislike a lot of scrolling that has to happen. But this is where everybody like I'm going to take a picture and put my notes here, and then into your teams. I'll change your team names really quickly, but this is where you guys please share all the responses that you got. Basically all your answers should like go here so I can count them properly. It would be helpful if you guys count. Yeah.
So I do have some written stuff, but is it fine if I send like a voice message of my answer, of our answer, because it's really long?
Sure, you can put the voice note in and I'll count that as like one answer basically. Okay,
that's great.
Put the answers in here. I please welcome you to venture yourself all the way. Like If you haven't done so already, tell me which problem areas you want to join. Because we have moderators who are often like alumni or like SOF past winners. They are moderating all of these different groups. So if you're at all interested in like bullying, the arts, corruption, climate change, if you're interested in like anything with human communication, come here and just put a crazy question, like see what happens, meet people in this way. All right. Because you want to make alliances there so that when it comes time during your phase of like having to interview people, when you already know people, it helps. They will be like a support. You support them now. Like some kids are about to graduate. You can like trial their idea for them if you want. There's a lot that you can do to support them and they will support you in turn. And beyond that though, just great conversations happen here.
Can I screen record our texts because our answers, we put them in our WhatsApp group chat. So I really don't want to copy paste them or whatever. That's so much work to do. Can I just screen record and send the video?
You can. It would be easiest, honestly, if you tell me how many responses you guys got. That's gonna be what I'm gonna be up to, is like counting how many responses all of you guys got. Okay. Awesome. All right. So I'm gonna send my notes from you guys right here into the chat. You guys should do the same. I love the concept that you guys are grading each other. So it's not just like you know more than me. So I'm excited to see how you guys graded each other. And then the winner will be announced sometime this evening. All right. Woo.
Thank you, Kelsey.
You guys are phenomenal. Like I'm wildly impressed with all the teams right now. So I'm just like, keep enjoying yourselves, meet some people, enjoy stage 2, and we'll see you next week at the same time. Normally the sessions are not this long. I do apologize, but I also want to let you guys like talk as much as you want to. So, all right.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
You look so pretty, by the way. Bye.
You
Bye,
too.
bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.